Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another smartphone office video. Just real quick, just doing a lot. Like I said, summertime, just doing a lot. So I was like, do I feel like driving out there? Nah. Got some stuff to do today. Anyway, right? Men have to feel good about themselves. Men have to feel good about themselves. And, several times I've talked about it, like situations where some men will go to another man and ask them how they look and ask them about all of this. And of course, you're going to get situations where the man's going to get rejected. I'm going to tell you what. First of all, when you're dealing with another man, they're either going to put you down because they jealous of you. They men themselves. They don't have functional vaginas. Even if they gay. They can't tell you what it is about yourself. They might be competing with you or whatever. Both of y'all trying to get that fine ass woman. They going to try to do what they can to keep you from it. You can't worry about that. And then you're going to get some women who are going to reject you. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you think you look. I don't care what you think got going for you. 4 billion women in this world, every single one is not going to like it. I don't care who it is. Even some players, men who can get women. There's always that woman that they can't get. Remember when I said I was selling copies of my book, Nice Guys and Players, at first? Players were the ones buying it right away. And they were telling me the same thing. They can get every woman except the one they want. Look, you're going to get men who are going to put you down. You're going to get women who are going to reject you. You know what? So what? So what? First of all, why are you worried about another man putting you down? They competing with you. They ain't a woman. What they going to do for you? First of all, if they competing with you, they probably see you as a threat. They probably see you as somebody who's better than them, so they're going to try to break you down. Why are you worried about it? And then a woman rejecting, like I said, I don't care who you are, you're going to get rejected. As a man, you have to really focus on just being the best version, being who you're going to be, doing the things you're going to do, doing your mission. Because every single person on this planet ain't going to like you. Shoot, I don't care who you are. But you know what? What are you concerned with? What do you need to be like thinking about what life you going to live? What you going to do? What the things that's important to you? What is your code? What is your philosophy? And you got to be self-centered about that. You got to say, look, you know what? I'm good with myself. See, a problem with a lot of men out here, a lot of men ain't good with themselves. A lot of men might not have that self-esteem. They might not like how they look. It don't matter. Now, I ain't saying you got to be conceited and cocky, but you got to be comfortable. You are who you are. Like, I'm famous for talking about, like, that height thing. There's plenty, like I said, there's plenty of dudes out there who are short-statured, who are getting women, they doing whatever, because they ain't letting that stopping them. They feel good about them. They working with what they got. And of course, you got some dudes, they letting that get to them. They like, oh, it's over, it's over. So what? So what? Okay, first of all, why another man worried about you? Why you need to ask that guy, it's like, why you worried about me? Why you worried about how I look? You with them? Or the height or something? Or another man like worried about how you dressed. First of all, another man shouldn't be worried about you. So you don't worry about them. Like if your height, whatever it is, your looks, whatever, your body build, whatever, you good with it. When I talk about body game, what do I always say? Body game is about getting to the point you comfortable. Like every now and then when I talk about body game, somebody will say, well, I seen this slim dude getting women. And I seen this big dude getting women. Hold up. First of all, I said body game is about whatever the woman is turned on by. And I've said numerous times, women are turned on by different bodies. The only issue is she turned on by your body? That's it. Some women like a big man. Some women like a slim man. But whatever the case, the most important thing for you is that you are comfortable with whatever body you're with. Whatever your looks are. If you don't have that square jaw, okay. Whatever. Are you comfortable with what you got? Because you ain't worried about it. Like, you ain't trying to be that other man. You are the way you built. And especially if you call yourself religious. However you worship God or something makes you the way you are. Are you saying he, or whatever term you're going to use, he, it, her for some religions, is making a mistake? Huh? I want you to think about that. All right? You got to feel good about yourself. And yeah, as far as rejection, there's always going to be a woman to reject you. Why do I always talk about tribes? All you need to do is focus on the women who are down for you. When I look back at the women who were down for me, they had the same general energy, same general type. You know? Look, they weren't those bad and bougie bitches. They weren't them. They didn't feel me. You know what? I ain't feel them either. When I look back at it was always a certain type. It was a certain type that can handle that. You know what? Rom likes to read. They were always types who can handle either books or somebody who was a writer. Well, guess what? Rom's a writer. So I didn't worry about him. That's how you gotta be. That is how you have to be out in this building. All right? You gotta focus on yourself. You have to feel good about yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you what, people are always gonna break you down. Like on my Deep Thought channel, I always use the term the days. And the days could be anybody from a family member to some powerful metaphysical secret society day. They want to break you down because they want to have control over you. Because see, here's the thing. If the second you let maybe another guy break you down, say you ain't all that, and you go with it, you be like, sad. That's it for you. That other person got control over you. That person can influence what you do. Or if it's a woman rejecting you. There's dudes who will go decades thinking about some rejection they had in high school. I remember on those talk shows, some of those older talk shows, they would always have some dude who would go through some stuff. He was rejected by some women, so he'd fix up, go in there, bring the woman on there. The woman would be like, who are you? Don't even remember. The woman don't even care anymore. So that man allowed himself to be affected by rejection all that time. Look, it's part of life. It's part of life. Like when I'm doing these videos, when I'm personally doing these videos, there's people who don't like them. But what have I said? I say, if you don't like it, don't watch. All right? I'm not going to change anything. And if somebody come up and say, well, you need to do this or that, don't watch, motherfucker. Because I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. And I'm good with it. Or somebody, you know what? I'll use another example with myself. Every now and then I get somebody, well, you old. That mean I survived shit, motherfucker. You want to get my age, don't you? I want you to think about that. The second you call me old, don't you want to get this age? Don't you want to get this motherfucking age? Think about that. That's stupid as shit, really. Shoot, I'm trying to get older. I want to be 90 and somebody calling me older. I say, yeah, but I live to 90. Because I'm worried about myself. I'm worried about what I have to do. Every single man has to have that attitude, no matter what. No matter what. You can't worry about somebody judging you. You can't worry about somebody rejecting you. There's always going to have something. In fact, I'm going to tell you what. Let me hit y'all with some deeper stuff. Only people who are going to try to do that is people that you are above anyway. You're above them. They trying to bring you down to their level. So if somebody, in fact, you want somebody to try to mess with you, to bring you down. It's like, that's the myth. It's like, yeah, well, I'm above you. Why are you saying anything about it? And women can reject a man for whatever reason. Sometimes women will reject a man because they think the man is too good for them. Why are you worried about it? It was like, oh, that hurt. Okay. Like I said in my main video today, there's an abundance of women. An abundance. Why are you worried about one rejecting you? If one rejected you, she probably saved you. I'm going to tell you what. I'll use my example again. There are plenty of women I've dealt with back in the day or tried to get with, tried to holler at, and didn't get with them. And then I would find out years later, like, oh, yeah, there was one, and we had some back and forth and stuff back in the day. And most we did was kiss. Most we ever did was kiss. And she would be acting funky sometime. But I saw her a few years ago on Facebook. And, you know, it was like, seriously, I was like, oh, shit. I skipped one back then. I skipped one. You ever just, seriously, think about it. Like the fellas worried about some woman who rejected him back in the day. You didn't know everything about her. How many times, like, put a 1 in the description box or the comment box every time you ran into some woman that might have rejected you back in the day, but then you see her years later and you like glad. Like she hitting you up talking about, hey, big head, but you looking at her like, damn, I dog one. I got out of one then. That dog, but you escaped something then. Because you don't know. Look, I'm going to tell you what. As a man, you got to focus on, you got to feel good about yourself more than anything else. Because people are going to come for you. You got to feel good about yourself no matter what. People are going to come for you. People are going to be jealous of you. People are going to try to break you down. People are going to try to hit you with something. People are going to try to gaslight you. And you got to be like, you know what? Nah, you on your mission. You on your mission. You can't, you got to feel good about yourself. Remember what I always say, your main relationship is with yourself. Your main relationship is with yourself. So there's going to, look, if you feel good about yourself, if you feel good inside of you, nothing outside of you can beat you. Nothing outside of you can defeat you. I want y'all to think about that. I want you to keep that into consideration, all right? No matter what, feel good about yourself. Feel good about who you are. Because, like I said, you can't worry about it. You can't worry about it. You doing your thing. There's always going to be somebody who do something, say something, whatever. And you got to be like, in fact, you might even look at this people try to come at me, and I would be like, that's the best you got? That's the best you got? Hold up. I mess with them because they'd be looking at me. It's like, damn, he ain't even fazed by what I'm saying. And shoot. And even since this is mainly about a channel about man gets woman, you can't worry about rejection. There's so many guys who worry about rejection. Like a guy might approach a woman in the street and she'd be like, no, and they lose their mind and stuff. They need to go to therapy. I'm like, okay, she rejected you. Like I said earlier, put a 1 in the description box. I always say description box. Comment box. You ever had that woman, she rejects you back in the day. You see her years later, and you be like, oh, shoot, damn, I dodged a bullet. Look, you just got to feel good about yourself. You got to love yourself. In fact, before you even get out here, I just say chasing women. Chasing women, trying to deal with women. Feel good about yourself first. When you're done with them, feel good about yourself. When you feel good about life, feel good about yourself. Feel good about yourself and what you do. And that's just a life lesson. Because I remember I was on one of my 1,000 jobs, and there was some guys who, I said something about a manager. They didn't keep it to themselves. All of a sudden, I'm in the room with the manager and stuff. And he's like, what you say about me? I said, no, I said that to them. I ain't going to repeat it to you. And then that same manager found out that they were the problem. They were the problem. All right? Because I was just like, no, I don't need to say. I said something to them. I'm going to keep it to myself. Because she found out they were a problem. They were a problem. Because I said, nah, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. This me. You ain't going to fire me, all right? If you're going to fire me, let me know right now. And the manager wasn't. Because, in fact, the manager congratulated me, I say, maybe a month or so later about how good a work I was doing. Look, you got to keep going with who you are. You got to feel good about yourself, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll see what's next week will bring, but y'all know I don't do anything on weekends anyway. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.